Welcome everybody back to the channel here, and we are doing our Dragon Ball arcs tier list. We're doing a tier list here of the arcs. This was last modified in 2020, so anything that happened after 2020, it's not gonna be in here. So don't yell at me. I ain't made the list. I should be. I should. You know, I should start taking some of these lists and start adding my own stuff to it, but I'm not going to. Not right now. I might do it next time or something. Shout out to my babies in the background. You know they get loud. But let's get started here. We got S through D. Let's get it. First one is the Future Trunks arc. This is from Dragon Ball Super. The Super version, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I didn't care for it. Number C. Why don't I care for it, Andre? Why? What you mean? Here's the reason why. Here's the reason why. I got you some. Let me give you the reason why. The Future Trunks arc not only wasn't it very confusing to an extent, not very confusing, but also a lot of the stuff didn't make sense, both manga and anime wise. The anime, I think it just screwed up everything. The anime made it worse for me. So when I manga read all Dragon Ball Super. I'm all caught up in everything. I manga read all of it. So when I got to the future, with the Future Trunks are what doesn't make sense to me was a lot of things didn't make sense. One of the things that didn't make sense that a lot of people never talked about is the fact that there is an alternate time, a third timeline that got screwed up that we don't say anything about because who's talking about it? You know what I'm saying? This reminds me of the Android Saga, which is the next one up, and I'm putting that at B tier. I'm putting that one at B tier. I'm gonna go ahead and put that at B tier right now. When the Android Saga happened, I'm gonna put these together because they about the same thing. So the Android Saga, they told us there was the timeline that we're in, the timeline that we in have everything that happened in Trunks time, but Cell actually becomes perfect. There's Trunks timeline to where the androids were the strongest thing. 16 did not exist, and Cell never showed up. You know, it was just those androids that did all the damage. There's a third timeline. I don't know if y'all know this. There's a third timeline that Cell talked about. That timeline is that he got there to that timeline, and once he got there, he ended up what was it? What I had it in my thought process. He showed up in that third timeline, and he ended up not becoming perfect. I think it was the androids were already dead. I want to say the androids were already dead in that timeline, so he had to travel back in time, which he traveled to Trunks' timeline, and in the Trunks' timeline, the androids were too strong for him to take over, no matter how many, because they killed so many humans that he couldn't absorb nobody. So then he traveled far back, even farther back, that allowed him to go ahead and get the androids while they were still weaker than him, allow him to absorb as many people as possible, and then become perfect. That's the timeline he comes. So there's three timelines there. So in the Future Trunks arc, that timeline, it kind of stays the same almost, right? We have our timeline where Zamasu actually got erased by Beerus. We have our timeline that happened. We have the timeline to what the Trunks timeline is right now. There's a third timeline to where Zamasu in Goku Black outfit, he went back. I mean, he went in there and killed Goku because in Trunks' timeline, Goku's dead. In our timeline, Goku is still alive. So there's a third timeline to where Zamasu end up killing Goku in Goten and Chi Chi, and then end up getting Goku. So there's three different timelines being involved, and they kind of did a bad job of trying to explain it all while trying to keep it all focused. I just didn't care for that one. The Future Trunks arc, to me, it was a lot of not. It's like a lot of BS going on. I feel like the manga did a better job than the anime did, but I still didn't care too much about that arc. The manga, I like the way the manga did it because Trunks didn't get this random Rage Super Saiyan transformation that was somewhat blue with gold and blue somehow. I didn't care for that. I had all 0%. That Super Saiyan sword that he had, that spirit sword he had, I didn't care for that at all. I didn't care for any of that. In the manga, they removed him, well, making sure like, hey, he was training with the Supreme Kai. He learned healing abilities. You know, he learned this stuff. So it's something to grasp upon, in my personal opinion. So that's why I enjoyed that more. The Android Saga, I enjoyed everything about the Android Saga. I think it was really fun to watch back. In my personal, I had just recently rewatched everything last year. Last year I did that, so everything's a little bit fresh in my mind. Next up, we got they swapping up the Bobby arc in the okay, they switched Bobby. Okay, they got a split between Bobby arc and Boo's arc. That's cool. Bobby's arc, I'm gonna give that about One thing I'm gonna put that ahead of the C tier. Yeah, I'm gonna put that ahead of the C tier. I like him as a character. I like the background for him, but I don't think he got. I don't feel like he didn't do enough. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he didn't do enough. Especially he seems like he's been around for a very long time. I think he'll know more about Frieza and all these other people. I feel like he didn't know anything Super Saiyan transform. I feel like he was just blanked off, and that the Supreme Cause were his biggest threat, or it was his father's biggest threat, not him personally. I like the whole idea of putting the M's on their head, making the manjas and stuff, but I'm like, he didn't pay attention to anything else. I really wish he did. He kind of grabbed some weak fighters and made them evil. I think it would have been kind of cool if it was something like he did this with Hercules or somebody, right? Because he ended up getting Spokovich in them, but Hercules defeated them like super easy. Imagine he would have took Hercules, Mr. Sainton. My fault. I keep saying Hercules. That was his dub name, but Mr. Sainton. They took Mr. Satan and he transformed him to evil, and then Mr. Satan is already the strongest non-superpower human. Not including Krillin and Tien and them. He was the peak of human physicals. Imagine he took him and slapped that and took the mind over him and had him fighting again. This time he's pure evil. That would have been fun. That would have been fun to see Videl try to overcome her own father and he was evil and stuff. That would have gave him a nice little nod for like, yeah, this is for being the strongest non-powered up human in the Dragon Ball verse. I think that'd have been cool. The Baby Saga. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. If y'all been here for a while, y'all know that I enjoy Dragon Ball GT. I enjoy Dragon Ball GT for trying to do something. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy it for them trying to become different. The Baby Saga, that's definitely B tier. That's definitely B tier. Not better than the androids though. Actually, it is. I take that back. It is just for the Super Saiyan 4 transformation. It is. It's better for the trans. Yeah. Yep. But you go behind there. There you go. The Baby Saga. We got to introduce Baby, the tougher race, something that they end up using in later on in the movie on a different type of movie that happened. That was part of the what was that? What Dragon Ball game was that? It was a Dragon Ball game. They had their own little movie pour, but they kind of used that to push the tougher race. I like the background for the tougher, something that, like I said, Dragon Ball GT did stuff that was just unordinary. I mean, undifferent. It's different in general, and I loved it. I loved that part. So, Baby here, Tuffle comes through, takes over Trunks' body. Trunks is way too powerful. So he said, "Let me go lower." He went super low. He kind of went low. Went to Goten, who really doesn't train as hard like he should. Then went to Gohan, which showcased that he was developing development. Took over Vegeta because that's the perfect body. And ironically, it will be the Prince of the Saiyans that a Tuffle took over to do this with. Did that, became superpower. We got the introduction of Super Saiyan 4, which to me it made a lot of sense. He still has something back there where they can grow the tail back, get the tail back out, get that Super Saiyan 4 transformation, a beautiful transformation. Use the the Super Saiyan God ritual, which is ironic that happened, and fought toe to toe with Baby. And I thought everything was cool. I enjoyed that arc. I don't care what y'all think. That was a great arc. Now the Black Star Dragon Ball arc. Now I'm gonna be different. I'm different. C tier. Why? The ideal of the Dragon Ball, the Black Star Dragon arc, the ideal of it. The execution was weak. The execution was definitely weak. I love the idea that overusing the Dragon Balls turned them evil, turned them black, and they became their own dragons and their own reason why they're that evil. The only problem I had was all of them except the last one, Nova, Ice, and Shenron. Everybody else was weak. So outside of the last three, everybody else was weak. I would love if they take that idea, the Black Star Dragon Ball, and put it in Dragon Ball Super updated version of it, and update not only dragons, like just update new versions of the dragons and make them more stronger for them to go against. I would like to see them like start that up and having like the seven the 7-star dragon is like the weakest of them, but it takes the Z fighters that's not Saiyans to beat them. The 6-star, it takes Piccolo to beat them. The 5-star, it takes Goten and Trunks with perfect training to defeat him. 4, so that was 5. 4, it takes Gohan, or it takes Broly to do it. The 3, it takes Gohan. 2, it takes Goku and Vegeta together, and then number 1, it takes everybody after he absorbed all the powers and stuff. I think that would be great. Not only that, but make it to where he's not afraid of Beerus or something, or Beerus is there and he's not afraid of him because he's gained so much powers. And it'd be awesome. They also he can make it to where as long as he's still alive for every 7 days that he's alive, he's able to grant an own wish after absorbing all 7 Dragon Balls. That'd be kind of crazy or something. Or even 7 hours. 7 hours of fighting, and he can grant a new wish. He can restore his body. He can ask for immortality. He can do a lot of different things. I think that'd be crazy. So, see. Captain Ginyu. Why Captain Ginyu get his own little arc here? I'm going to head to C tier. I wasn't too impressed with Captain Ginyu. Captain Ginyu was cool, but he wasn't. Maybe I'm lowballing because because how he got beaten so easily. In my personal opinion, he had to use the body switch technique to actually give a real threat. But I feel like he was weak. I feel like he was strong. Of course, he was stronger than everybody else, but combat wise and stuff, all he did was make sure he got hurt, switched bodies, and then it was just like a BS game. It was like a BS game waiting for them to get to Frieza. In my personal opinion, that's just me. This is the Cells Games arc. The Cells Game arc, we're going ahead and I need to move this. This freaking ad is right in my way. Let me see if I can move this ad real quick. This ad is annoying. Let's option that mug. Let's turn that off. I don't know. I think the Cell Games, I think that's S tier. I'm going to put S tier at it. I'm going to put S tier. It's an S tier way because that's top of the food chain. Yeah, it's S tier. S tier. Cells Game Saga. Everybody fighting the Cells Game. This is the saga. To me, I don't know if anybody watched the Cell arc back. By the way, if you guys do not know, Dragon Ball Kai is the manga canon. Is the manga version of the Dragon Ball. Is the manga version, but just animated. Everything they took from the manga is from Kai. I mean, Kai took everything from the manga and just animated it. In the Cell Game, when I watched it back, what I noticed is that everybody was hyped up about Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan. It was getting to that moment. For him to get to that moment, it was a crazy build-up. But getting to that moment, it was a dragged out, and then after that, it was a beat down. But we can't bypass that. Gohan was so cocky that he thought he could just beat Cell straight up no matter what, even if Cell powered up and everything. It was crazy with the explosion and everything. It was kind of crazy, but definitely greatness from that. Definitely greatness from that. Next up, we got the Commander Red saga from Dragon Ball. I don't remember. I'm gonna put a detail. I don't really remember much from that arc. I've read Dragon Ball. I read all the Dragon Ball chapters, so I don't actually remember. I don't remember that arc at all, quite honestly. I don't. I don't remember that arc. I know General Tai showed up, but I just don't remember what happened. So that sadly it's going to be there. It's going to probably be the top of the D tier because I don't remember that. This filler is here in Copy Vegeta. Don't care for that. I don't care for fillers. Pilaf arc. Is that Dragon Ball? Or was that? It don't matter. It's still D tier. Pilaf and them, that was important in original Dragon Ball. That was about it. After that, they were just kind of like annoying to have running around, in my personal opinion. Very, very annoying. For sure, Teller Baba arc. This is when they went to the underworld to fight, and Goku got to fight Grandpa Gohan, and they got to fight it out. I feel like that was filler. I don't know why I feel like that's filler. But I'm gonna put that head of the C tier. That's another one that I actually can't remember everything that happened in that arc, in that saga. It's probably good, but it's been a long time since I read that. You know what I'm saying? It's a long time since I read that. The Frieza saga, you can argue it is A tier. I'll say it's A tier. It's one of the ones that it's kind of like it's one of the best ones because you get the build up, we get the post Vegeta stuff. We go to Planet Namek. We deal with everything on Planet Nappa. We deal with this Tyrant Frieza. We got to deal with Gohan Gohan and Krillin doing a lot of heavy lifting in this arc before Goku arrived. Vegeta, we get to see a different version of Vegeta, how he operates and stuff. Yeah, it was great. S tier, when I put them in S tier, interchangeable. It don't matter how they look up. Interchangeable. That don't matter to me. Next up, the Fusion Saga. Oh snaps! The Fusion Saga. Where am I putting the Fusion Saga? I'm not too high on the Fusion Saga. I can tell you that right now. I'm not too crazy, too high on the Fusion Saga. Why? Man, it was cool for just Goten and Trunks to do the fusion. But that was kind of it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That was kind of it. It wasn't too crazy for me. I'm putting that C tier, head of the C tier. It wasn't too crazy for me. It was cool, but if anything, it makes me angry because we didn't get to see. And you know what? I take that back. They might be the best of the. They might be the very last of the B tier, very last of the B tier, because we got to see Goten and Trunks take stuff. Well, we saw Goten take stuff seriously. Trunks was still childish, even though he just watched everybody gets killed, and he was still acting childish while Goten was ready to lock in. I hate that they wasted that opportunity. I really did hate that they wasted that opportunity with Goten. Goten was locked in. He was angry because Boo killed his mom, and they kind of just let that flew. I hate how they did the ending of that, man. I hate how they did the boys, man. Garlic Jr. Saga. I don't care for that saga. It's a saga. Crazy part, I didn't even know it was a real saga. My cousin told me it was a real saga. I thought it was filler. I thought it was filler because it was part of the arc. It was part of the movies. And I was like, the movies are non-canon anyway. And yes, I did. Yes, I was. I did see the whole, oh, yeah, hey, everything's not canon, people. Stop it. Go put all those movies, put every single movie from Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball Super. You take all those arcs, you tell me exactly where they all fit into the timeline, canon wise, and I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong. I'll tell you why you're wrong, but you let me know down in the comment section if you can put every single movie into the arc that make sense. And the reason why I'm saying that, respectfully, the reason why I'm saying that, when Turles came down to Earth, where exactly did Turles come from? I mean, when does Turles show up? Because he's a Saiyan. They've already acknowledged that part. So this had to be post Radish, but before Nappa and Vegeta somehow. But Goku in the from the Tree of Might, he ended up eating that to showcase his strength and stuff. But once again, I'm asking, where exactly are you putting his arc at? Because it's before the Frieza arc, and it can't be after Radish because Goku's dead. Goku's very alive in that movie. It can't be after Nappa and Vegeta because they go to Planet Namek. Everybody was here on Planet Earth still fighting. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's just one. I'm just saying that was just one. But Garlic Jr., I didn't care for. It was cool when I was watching it. When I watched it, because I watched the Dragon Ball Z movies probably back in I watched every single movie probably back in, what was that? 2012, 13-ish, around that time frame. I watched all of them over a summer. Might have been 2011. I watched all that in one summer. So every day I went to work. I come back from work. I put on a Dragon Ball. No, before work, I would take a shower. I would get something to eat. I would watch a Dragon Ball movie. Go to work, come home, and I was binge watching Digimon. By the way, we're gonna find some Digimon tier list. Digimon tier list is the next one. So be prepared for that. That's the next one. Probably in between. If it is, it probably comes out after. It probably comes out after this one and before WWE before my SmackDown episode come out. So that's coming soon. The General Blue Saga. Another one I just didn't care too much about. Dragon Ball has some really good fights. The sagas hit and miss. It depends on who you are. They are hit and miss. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So as you can tell, 3 of them ranked down here for a reason. I just didn't care for them. The God of Destruction arc is our first A tier, right? Because now this freaking ad thing is in my way. I can't even put where I need to put it. It's A tier. I would have done it differently. but it's A tier still. It's definitely A tier. And then the Golden Frieza saga, yeah, I don't care anything about the Golden Frieza arc. I definitely do not. I hated that arc, that saga. Quite honestly, I didn't care anything about it. I mean, God of Destruction. I mean, that was awesome to watch. God tier key and stuff, and all this stuff that happened, all this over a pudding cup. Shout out to Majin Buu, crazy work. Golden Frieza arc, did not care for his revival. Don't care about it. I don't care anything about him. I do not care. I don't care. The Great Saiyan Man arc. Do I care? No, I really don't care about that either. That goes before Frieza. C tier. That's too high. That's too high. It's the head of the D tier. That's way too high. Gohan's my favorite character, but holy crap. Holy crap. That Great Saiyan Man. It was cool to see because he dressed up as a superhero. You know, that trauma from getting his tail being beaten down to the ground from the Ginyu Force or whatever. Him trying to be a superhero, trying to get away from certain stuff, but he still want to do the fighting stuff on the side. Cool, but holy crap! No, I'm good on that one. I guess it's just cool. It's full of light, slow built up and stuff like that. I guess you can argue that if you want to, but I'm not gonna argue with that. I'm not gonna argue with you back and forth with that. In the Imperfect Cell saga, I enjoyed that a lot. I think I enjoyed that probably on the same tier as the Android saga. Definitely enjoyed that one. Watching Imperfect Cell, who he was, how he explained everything, and oh man, that was a good one. That was a really good one. To see him absorbing people, getting stronger. It's like one of those villains that they almost couldn't defeat. It's one of those that they probably could not defeat, but they pull out that W somehow. I don't know how they did it, but they pull out that dub on them eventually. Well, eventually. Next up is the Kid Buu saga. I think that's an A tier saga. They could have just put that in the Majin Buu. Where's the Majin Buu? Is this the Majin Buu art? Majin Buu saga. I think that's a little childish. I'm gonna put that B tier. I think the Majin Buu arc was cool to see who he was, what kind of destruction that he does appear in. But the fact that the background story, especially with Kid Buu and stuff, was the fact that Kid Buu was so pure evil that after he was defeating all the Kais and stuff, he ended up absorbing him. And then when he got to the final Kai, he was kind of like Majin Buu was kind of good, but kind of evil, but he was a child evil type deal. So that's the reason why he has that look and the reason why he was destruction, but his destruction was a little bit lower than normal. You know what I'm saying? A little bit loyal. So that's cool. The Demon King Piccolo. Yeah, that's up there. No, this is the Demon King Piccolo. This is King Piccolo. King Piccolo is B. King Piccolo is B. No, it's not. It's A. I'm tripping. You know what? Let me stop. It's S tier. Let me stop. I'm gonna stop playing with y'all. That's S tier. Man, the fact this man pulled up, he was able to get his wish to be immortal. Something that we didn't even get to see in Dragon. We didn't think that was even possible. He becomes immortal. He kills Krillin. He freaking went toe to toe with Master Roshi. Killed him, I think, or defeated him. The man was on a monster tear. Even Goku defeating him finally after Goku had to go freaking train and all this. There was a lot of stress watching that. I'm telling you, I was a lot of stress when I was reading that. Not watching it, but reading it, man. It was a lot of stress. But that Demon King Piccolo, he was on demon time. Ironically, he was on legit demon time, and I personally enjoyed that. I love that. That was beautiful art. Namek. I think Namek goes in front of the God of Destruction. Not God of Destruction. Yeah, God of Destruction arc. I think that was no. Let me stop. That was A tier. Oh, so they separated the two. Wait. They separated two. So Frieza arc is all about Frieza, and then the Namek arc is everything else. So does Frieza arc still stay up there because the transformation of a Super Saiyan, them going back and forth in the fighting? Yeah, still A tier. Yeah, I think that whole Namek and Frieza. Yeah, that's all A. I mean, that's all S tier. Yeah, Namek. I explained that earlier. Namek was awesome to watch. The Otherworld saga, which is non-canon, I think that's still. I'm gonna go right there. I think that's B tier. I think that's a really good B tier. Get to see Otherworld fighting and stuff like that. Just to see something different that we haven't seen before. new characters being introduced. Pikkon holding his own, especially against Super Saiyan 3 Goku and stuff like that. Pikkon is canon, by the way. The tournament is non-canon, but Pikkon is canon. He was in the underworld watching Goku and them fight Kid Buu, by the way. He didn't go help or nothing, but he was watching. So he's canon. He's canon. Yeah, he's canon. So yeah, that's cool. He's pretty cool. He's pretty cool. What is this? This is the Peaceful World sagas. That's what they can call it. It's the end of the show. Peaceful World. It's not really that long of a saga though. You can go in front of you can be top tier, C tier. I don't know why. I really don't know why. I'm gonna take that back. You can go right there. I'm gonna put that right there. It's not really a real saga. It's literally just everything happened like Future led on, where Vegeta is not fighting anymore, and we get hyped up for Oob. There wasn't that many episodes. I think it was probably 5 episodes maybe before we went ahead and ended the Z. So yeah. The Perfect Cell saga. I'm gonna put that A tier. I think Perfect Cell was A tier in my personal opinion. His saga was A tier. Watching the transform. Why they separate the Imperfect Cell and Perfect Cell? Why is it called the Cell Saga and didn't have the Cell games as a saga? That's crazy. I'm not about to explain that. Now Piccolo Jr. That one. Now that Piccolo Jr. God dang it, Piccolo Jr. That's A tier. That's A tier. I'm putting that right there. That's about A tier. I think it's better than the God of Destruction arc. Piccolo Jr. happened during the World Martial Arts tournament. So in that whole Martial Arts, wait before I even explain everything. Let me make sure they ain't got that on here. Red Robin, Sansanga, Tien tournament saga. That's the first tournament saga. Yep, perfect. They ain't got it on here. Makes it even better. Yes, for the Piccolo saga, this happens. This is probably 2 or 3 years, or I think 2 years after it's 2 years later, and everybody goes to train. This is when Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien surpassed Master Roshi. By the way, they surpassed him in Dragon Ball because Master Roshi didn't even enter the tournament this time. The past 2 tournaments, Master Roshi entered. He entered and fought in it. This time, he didn't enter at all because he got surpassed by everybody. So anybody who think Master Roshi is people thinking oh yeah, Master Roshi was the best still. No. Master Roshi got surpassed in Dragon Ball. In this arc, he was already surpassed. He got surpassed by everybody. So he didn't even compete. Goku's older. He's like that teenager version of him, like that teen version of him or so like that. He enters this. Him and Tien still put on a really freaking good match. Really good freaking match. That was a good fight right there. They put on a really good match. Yamcha fought like a drunken fist user, it seemed like it, or something like that. But of course, the main event, Goku versus Piccolo, the rematch. This is Piccolo Jr. this time, so he's revision for his father. They went toe to toe. They threw hands. That was some great hands they was throwing too. And Goku, despite that fight, y'all, Goku won because of a ring out. Goku won because of a ring out. That's how he won that. That's how he won the tournament. They fought in air. Ground. They was doing all that. But Piccolo hit the ground first before Goku, and Goku said, "Hey, he hit the ground first. Doesn't that mean I win?" They're like, yeah, you did win because of that. Crazy work. That was a fantastic fight, though. That's the only way he could. Ended that. Now this is the Prison Planet saga. That's a super. I mean, that's Dragon Ball Super. I mean, not super. That's superheroes. Yeah, that's D tier. I ain't watching none of the hero stuff. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't watch none of that. I don't. That's non-canon to me. I don't care for that. But it's most likely better. It's most likely better than. It's probably higher up. I don't care for any of that super crap. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm not. The Raditz arc, which should also be the Saiyan arc in general. I don't know why they just call it. Yeah, the Saiyan arc is different. Okay, and they got those different. Raditz arc is B, while the Saiyan saga happens to be ahead of the B. Where I put it? What did I put it? Where did I put it? If the Raditz arc is going to be B, but close to the end, while the Saiyan saga will have to be the top of the food chain on the B list, in my personal opinion. I enjoy everything about it. We got everything post Raditz, where we got Nappa coming down. We got Vegeta coming down. We got them dog walking the Z Fighters. Z Fighters still put on a great fight. Last time Z Fighters put on a fantastic fight as a group, quite honestly. And then they kind of just like shifted them up out of there. That's crazy work. Yeah, I love that. The Red Ribbon art is it's automatic. Nah, I can't do that. It's C tier. I didn't care for it. Goku literally just went through and just busted all they ish. They just busted all their tails out there. He said, all y'all in trouble. And he just soloed Red Ribbon. Let's be honest. Kid Goku soloed Red Ribbon. It was crazy. The picture they got for him right here, he was fought like a ninja, like a basic ninja. Kind of funny. Basic ninja. This one is the Shadow Dragons arc. The Shadow Dragons arc? That's different from the... Where's my other one? The Black Star Dragons? Yeah, Black Star. Oh, the Black Star Dragons was the originals. Okay. And then the Shadow Dragon arc, no, where is my Black Star? Black Star is right there. For the transformation alone, the last 3 battles were awesome, though. The last fights were awesome, though. I gotta put it at B tier. I put it up the tournament. It's B tier. So the Black Star Dragons, if that's the case, as the Shadow Dragons arcs is them. The Black Star Dragons was the very beginning, which I didn't care for. I didn't care for that one. If that's the case, if that's how they separate, I don't care for that one. I care for Super 17 is probably the worst one on the whole list. Let's be honest here. It's better than Copy Vegeta, though. No, it's not. That's probably the worst arc here. It's the worst arc. One, it was like 8 episodes. Let's be honest. It was 8 episodes. That was embarrassing. It had potential. I don't know why they rushed the arc so quickly. I don't know what was going on. Did they have the time limit? Like, oh, you're going to get this many episodes? If that's the case, okay. But golly, they rushed the crap out of that, man. That was ridiculous. The TN arc. Y'all gonna disagree. That's cool. That's A tier. The TN saga was A tier. You didn't go back and watch that. TN pops up. He's part of the Crane. He part of the Crane school for fighting, and this is where he was evil. Even Chao Sute was evil because he was using his telepax abilities to stop Yamcha in place in the middle of the fight, and TN broke Yamcha's leg. Yes, TN broke that man's leg, people. I don't think y'all understand. He broke Yamcha's leg. Yamcha and TN was going toe to toe. They was going back at it. But then when Chaozu interfered, TN took that opportunity, broke his leg, and got him up out of there. And then TN versus Goku, Chaozu was trying to do it again, but TN told him to stop doing it. He got him on his own. They go toe to toe. Fantastic fight. One of the best Dragon Ball fights I personally seen. And TN actually won because Goku hit the ground first. Reminiscent of what happened in the Piccolo Jr. arc. Very reminiscent of that. Very reminiscent. The tournament saga, the very, very first tournament saga. I'm gonna put that B tier. Was that too high? That might be too high. Let me think. I'll keep it B tier. B tier because we got to see the Saiyan transformation, Goku transforming into a great ape for the first time. Master Roshi going toe to toe with them like it wasn't. The fact that the way that Krillin and Master Roshi fought was so fast that no one could see them, and they had to explain everything that just happened in that fight. Golly. That's top tier. Trunks saga. The Trunks saga didn't last too long. His saga didn't last too long. Pops up, one shots. Pretty much that's about it. C tier. I don't know what we're doing here. And respectfully, C tier, yeah, he popped up. We got a new Saiyan. He chopped up Frieza. He chopped up King Cole. He destroyed both of their ships. Found when Goku landed. Talked to Goku about what was going on. Then he got up out of there. And then we moved on to the Android arc. So, you know what I'm saying? What am I supposed to do with that? Universal Conflict Saga, they look like Super Hero. That's what they look like, Superhero. Like I said, nothing about superheroes that I've watched. So yeah, the Universal Struggle arc. It is B tier, and it barely. And I'm being so real with y'all. It's B tier, and it's just ahead of the Fusion. Yeah, not a fan. If it was me, it would have been the filler of tournament saga, is what I call it. The filler. Why? All those people, all those other universes besides the Pride Troopers and Universe 6 were filler people. Stop the cap. It was all fillers. You tell me Master Roshi, which I told you guys, Master Roshi maxed out in Dragon Ball. He stopped at Dragon Ball. The fact that he entered this tournament, that he could enter this tournament and go toe to toe with anybody in that tournament for as long as he did, not a fan. Wasn't a fan in the manga when they did it. They teased a 0.0000001% of him having Ultra Instinct. I did not care. It was straight up filler. The manga did better, but it was straight up filler. All those characters were still filler to me. I just like, I'm good. Master Roshi shouldn't be in this. Master Roshi or Frieza shouldn't have been in that. It should have been Goten and Trunks getting some bonus points for actually getting real fights in their systems instead of this being pushed to the side. Crap. Universe 6 saga, another one I feel like that was mostly filler outside of the hit fight. Outside of the hit fight. Is it B tier? Is it better than the tournament? Nah. Let me think. No, it's not better. I'm trying to make sure. Is it not better than the? No, it's not better than the Fusion. I didn't like Universe 6 arc either. I didn't like the. We got teased. We got teased more than anything. The big Winnie the Pooh bear. He was cool. He was a cool little fighter. I think he was cool. I think he was a cool one. The machine was awesome until you call it names, and then it was weak and it sucked. Frost was just annoying. There was no reason to have that. It was like we did this already, so I was like, I'm good on that. Kappa had potential to be something, but he's a base Super Saiyan. He was just base Super Saiyan. He wasn't anything too oppressive. They held back so much for him. It was crazy. And then Hit was the best one. And then he was nerfed because he couldn't use his killing techniques. He was nerfed twice in 2 tournaments. It's crazy. But I didn't like the fact that Goku could somehow predict going to the future to predict his fighting. That makes zero sense to me. You can't predict something that's about to happen. I'm sorry. I'm just not a fan of that thought process. That was just dumb in my personal opinion. The finally is the last tournament here. I'm calling that C tier also. We didn't get enough. We didn't get enough time to enjoy that arc. We didn't get enough time. But that's my list. We didn't get enough time for that. Yeah, that's my list. This is my list. So S tier is really 4. A tier got 5 for me. B tier got one of the most or the most because I think a lot of it was really good. D tier dominate that. That's mainly because I didn't watch none of the anything superhero related because it's a video game. I just doesn't attract me. It does not attract me. Now, of course, will anything move up? No, I think this is permanent. This is definitely permanent. They didn't add. I guess this is anime wise. This is anime only, right? Nope, it's not anime only. Yeah, it is anime only. I'm sorry, this is anime only. So we got the Brawly Saga don't count because they skipped that in the manga. So we had who arc was that? We had Moral Arc. Moral Arc is S tier. Moral Arc would have been S tier. Post Moral Arc was the whatchamacallit, what's his name? What was the name? What was his name? Homeskiller. What is Homeskiller's name? The next arc after that, Gonora. Gonora's arc, that is A tier. What's that? S tier. S tier. S tier for that arc, the first half of that arc, and then I think the second half would be the no, that's S tier. No, that's all. That's A tier. That'd be the king of the A tiers right there. Gonal's arc, that entire arc, even if they close the other side too, they close both of them to two different parts, both of them A tier. I don't like the recanonize of Bardock. Stick to something with Bardock. Holy crap! Stop flipping him back and forth. I don't care for that whole extras. No, flipping back and forth. But A tier still. And then the Dragon Ball superhero manga slash movie, which they did the manga saga in that. Half it, not half, all of that. I didn't care for any at all. C tier, somewhere in the C tier. And but then the final battle royale, the Saiyans battle royale, I would put that about I'll probably put that about B tier. Probably be the last part of B tier. No, it'll probably be like it probably be between it'll probably be around the first 5 sections somewhere. Because we have to see Broly, Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks. We had to see all 6 Saiyans fight it out, which was amazing to see and was definitely worth it because we needed that badly, people. We needed that super badly. But that is my Dragon Ball Saga tier list. At some point, I will get to the fight list. I'm gonna wait for my cousin, see if I can hit him up and see if he wants to do the fight list that has like 203 fights or something like that. So we'll do that when I can get to him. I gotta talk to him though. But you guys make sure you hit the like, comment, and subscribe. WWE Universe Mode will be coming out most likely Thursday. Wednesday or Thursday. Wednesday or Thursday is one of those days. But I'll catch y'all on the next one.